Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, December 31st, 2024. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. Before we get to the charts, I do want to point your attention to pivotboss.com/flash sale. Right now, this deal ends today, so there's still time to get in on this holiday flash sale. You can scroll down here and see that my book, Secrets of a Pivot Boss, is $40 right now, the cheapest price ever. Scroll down a little bit more here. Swing Trade Pro 2.0, our best swing trade training. This training right now, 20% off. And of course, Pivot Boss Masters, our most complete training here. This one is also 20% off. You can get more information about those courses and training at pivotboss.com/flash sale. There's still time to take advantage of these deep discount deals. All right, let's take a look here at the ES in the daily time frame here. You'll notice right now, inside day, that was the idea heading into the session here today. In our trading room yesterday afternoon, we looked at the market and mentioned that an inside day could be possible on a Tuesday here ahead of Wednesday's holiday session and the last trading day of the year. We had a fairly high range day yesterday, 118 points of range, 127% of ADR, and finished just below the day's midpoint. The idea was that we likely stay in that middle area of the yesterday's range, and we could be looking at a fade the edges type of session here. So bears will be looking to fade new highs, bulls will be looking to fade new lows, and you kind of push this thing back and forth throughout the early part of the session. Things could go quiet later on in the day as the market finishes the year. On a Tuesday, we pick things back up on Thursday for January 2nd. And just a quick heads up, we will be hosting a monthly market outlook on January 7th. January 7th, more details to come on that one. That will be the following Tuesday here. So again, we have a likely inside day scenario developing for today. Fade the edges early in the day and then look to enjoy an early Happy New Year. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. The NQ, very similar price action, highish range day, a little higher than average, about 110% of ADR yesterday. We do have inside day developing at the moment. Very similar price action to the ES on an intraday basis. Again, bears will be looking to defend highs, bulls defending lows, fade the edges. Still a short-term downward bias, long-term upward bias. But looking to finish the week, or at least finish the year here, within range. Now, heading into January, this is something we'll talk about during the monthly outlook here. We have higher value relationships and currently a bearish bias developing here for the NQ. That would suggest early weakness to begin the new year. That means that any pullback here or any push to the upside could lead to some selling pressure and a test at the previous month's low. We also have new yearly pivots to look at, new quarterly pivots to look at, so a lot going on as we head into the new year. But for today, fading the edges is the likely plan of attack. Looking at crude oil. Crude right now, kind of range bound here for the most part. A little bit of a top coming in early in the overnight and pre-market trade at 71.70, kind of a rotation back down. Still fairly narrow range day, just 87 cents of range. That's 63% of average range. We're continuing to develop a rounded bottom here, a rounded bottom in crude oil, and 72 is going to be kind of the breakout point here early next year. Overlapping higher value relationship developing heading into January with a bullish closing bias as of right now. And that means any pullback early in the year could be a buying opportunity for a continuation up. We did get a little bit of strength here heading into the end of the year. So that's seasonally what we expected. And then you tend to see strength in the first 9 weeks of the year at the very least here. So any pullback to begin January could be a buying opportunity for a rotation back toward the 75.50 level and the 78.50 level to begin the year. All right, taking a look here at gold futures. Gold right now up about 1/3 of 1% inside day as well. And the idea for this one was likely an inside day range, looking to fade the edges as of right now. Still kind of stuck near the middle of this pack here. That's about 26.32, so that's right in the middle of this larger key range. And at some point here we could see a move to one of the extremes, and that could provide the best opportunity. You'll see down here around 25.40, nice range. Up here 2800, and then you got the middle of the range here around 26.75. And currently we're in that lower distribution of that range. So if we drop down into 25.25 to 25.40, that could provide a fade opportunity back to 26.75, maybe a bit higher. If we come into this zone, it could be a fade back down. So that's what we're looking for out of gold here heading into the new year. Now looking at the YM right now marginally higher. This one inside day 192 points of range. That's 29% of average right now. This one again, previous session, relatively high range day. Fairly high range, as a matter of fact. The previous session's range was about 800 points, 798 points, and then it finished near the midpoint of the range. And that again is an indication when you have a high range day and you close near the middle of the range that the following day is high odds of being an inside day, and that's where you look to fade the extremes. Still a short-term downward bias, for the month. And that is developing here a lower value, overlapping lower value relationship with a confirming bearish close. And that again would suggest early weakness in January. Any pullback could be sold here for a shot at new lows. And then we see how deep this thing goes. So again, right now setting up for an early bearish move to begin January. Looking at Bitcoin right now, up 1 1/3% at the moment. This one is still holding above the 90,000 level. This one has developed a very narrow range over the last 6 to 7 days. That's building some energy right there. Again, from a pivot range perspective, heading into the new year, higher value relationship heading into the new year, but with a currently a bearish confirming bias. And again, that would suggest early strength could be sold, and you look for some weakness up ahead out of this one. Still a very bullish move here that we've seen since the 50,000 low, but there is some LVN channeling type price action here that likely needs to be filled or backfilled at some point. That's this big time explosive move. Do we get a move down through that level, fill it in, and then work our way higher down the road? So that's going to be 90,000. Does it fail through 90,000? If so, we could be looking at a return back towards 75K down the road. But still building energy up here. The momentum is still strong with this one. And at some point here down the road, this impulse move would suggest a 125K target. Looking at Ether futures, up 1% right now, also a narrow range over the last 6 to 7 days. This one developed an impressive impulse sell-off, bounced off VWAP here. That's about a 1,100 point move, 1,000 plus points. That would suggest, again, 5,200 could be the next major upside target down the road. But how long does it take to get to that target? We could see a little bit more build out up in here. We could see a bit of a trap opportunity here to begin the year and then work our way higher. So this one could be working its way up toward 5,200 down the road. And right now, the current month's low here, right at the closing yearly VWAP, right at the 200-day moving average, that could provide a tremendous bounce opportunity to begin the new year. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out here heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, happy New Year's Eve. We'll see you again on Thursday. And again, please be sure to visit pivotboss.com/flash sale to take advantage of the holiday deals. That'll be it for now. We'll see you in the trading room. Take care.